Government of India has announced another increase in the windfall tax on crude petroleum to 6,800 rupees per tonne, up from 4,900 rupees per tonne, and that's effective starting today. This tax hike comes in the form of a special additional excise duty levied on domestic crude oil producers. Remember, this is for crude oil producers in India, and this tax is distinct from export duties on fuels like diesel, petrol and ATF or aviation turbine fuel, which remains at zero. The government of India implemented windfall tax on crude oil producers back in July 2022 amid the heightened Russia-Ukraine war to tame the temptation of private refiners from selling fuel overseas to profit from high global prices, ensuring they prioritize supplying to the domestic market first. The government revised the windfall tax rate on a fortnightly basis. Meanwhile, global oil prices climbed again. Fueled by concerns about limited supply, major producers are sticking to output cuts while a strengthening US economy is boosting demand for crude oil. Brent futures for the month of June increased 15 cents to settle at $89.51 per barrel. And US WTI futures for the month of May also increased by 15 cents to $85.59 per barrel, and that's according to a Reuters report. The Indian government's decision to significantly increase the windfall tax on domestically produced crude oil to 6,800 rupees per tonne targets excess profits oil producers are enjoying due to the high global prices, and by taxing such profits, the government aims to stabilize domestic fuel prices. Kartik, a quick question on that with you. This is a stopgap kind of a situation, isn't it? Because we have a huge conflict going on. In fact, we have two conflicts going on that is affecting crude prices globally.
No, you're right, Krishna. But I think, what oil producers have gained from is that they have incidentally produced cheaper oil when prices were low. And these are future prices. So you're looking at June futures and May futures. They have the option to sell in the global market at a much higher price. Now, the government doesn't want them to sell in the global market. The government wants them to keep the oil here in India and then distribute it to Indian domestic users. So this windfall tax, in a way, is going to discourage oil producers from selling in the global market, because why would they want to sell and then whatever their proceeds are, pay a big chunk of that as tax back to the government? So I think broadly, in election year, the government doesn't want the consumers to feel the pinch of rising domestic petrol and diesel prices, and hence just penalize the oil producers for now temporarily and make sure that they keep all the oil here in India.
Well, good point there, Kartik. It is an election year. Never forget that, especially when it comes to essentials like oil.